Today, I am checking out the Koala app on the iPad Pro 2018. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna make fun of me for not upgrading my iPad. But other than that, I wanna see if it's good or not. I wanna give my first impressions and my impressions as a MPC producer, as people know me as. This is just the first time I'm trying it out and showing you guys. And if you're wondering, it does work on Android OS. I'll have all the information linked in the description box, as I'm pretty sure some people want to check it out. And hey, look, we're gonna try something new. I think it's always important to try something new so that you can get an impression and bring some of that back into whatever you're using mainly all the time. So this is the first track that I created using the Koala app. And as you can see, it's still not finished. You know, there are things that I came to conclusion about this Koala Sampler app versus, like, you know, using a drum sampler, which I will talk about in this video. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and create new, and then we're going to start from the top. So the biggest thing that I like about this is the ability for you to be able to sample from YouTube into the Koala app. So how does that work basically? Well, it's kind of obvious. Just pull up YouTube, and what you can do is you can play the track, or the first thing you should do is go over here to screen record, and then you will screen record you know, what's on the screen. And then once you screen record that, you can bring it inside of the Koala app. So, you know, you just hit screen record right here, and then you'll record the stuff, which I'm not going to play right now because I don't want, you know, to get a copyright claim. So after I'm done with that, I'll just go right back into the Koala app here. And mind you that the Koala app can be, if you want to like split screen it, like full screen, split view, slide over, and so forth, you can do that, and we'll talk more about that later. So all you have to do to access that same video that you screen recorded is just go to the hamburger menu, and then you will select import video. The other cool thing is you can use just the part that you sampled. Like, you can go over here and you can trim that sample in real time. After that, you'll just hit use. So I'm gonna go ahead over here, make sure that it's on there. Boom, hit use, boom. And then it'll import that sample. And from here, you can see it's right here. The biggest thing is just select it, edit it, and it's pretty simple. You know, just edit samples in here. It's not like a big major guess. You'll go over here, then you can play the loop or whatnot from where it is, you know. And then you do that, and you can go, and it has other features too. Like, if you go over here to tools, and I did, by the way, if you want auto chop, and this is kind of the disappointing thing, is you have to pay an extra $4.99. It's not built inside of the app inherently. But, well, what you could do is just go over here. You can trim silence. Boom, I'm going to trim the silence over here, and everything is done as far as that. And then you can go and you can trim the silence again or whatever. Right now it's not displaying right, so I don't know, that maybe that's a bug. So I'm gonna see if I can go back into tools and see what crop does. You know, maybe that, yeah, there you go. So crop is like truncate in every other drum sampler. The next cool thing about the Koala app that I like is the ability to split stems. First, you will have to download the stem splitter inside of here, and then you get welcome with these options. So this is more modern than anything. Like, you know, something like an MPC, which doesn't have stem separation, and, you know, that part of artificial intelligence is dope. It's built inside of it. So how does it work? Basically, I want to take away all of this other stuff right here and just get the drums. And if you do want to merge the selected, like if you want to take out just the vocals and then just leave the bass and the other stuff in there, you can always merge selected, so it could be just one file. And mind you, I'm doing this workflow for a reason. So you just hit split, boom, and then it'll go through the process. And from here, you can hear the drums. So maybe I want to go ahead and normalize that. I think it has a way of normalizing. Yes, boom. I can normalize that, and it didn't do much to the file itself. And you can hear the quality of it. It's not so bad, you know, for the most part. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this like, and mind you, it has the same amount of workflow as the MPC. You know, that's the only thing I can really compare it to as far as like touchscreen workflow. So if you're wondering, is it as efficient? Yes, it is, and somewhat kind of annoying too, as you can see that, you know, I didn't want that. So I gotta go ahead and just adjust, but you know. So I think that's a perfect loop. I'll just go back in the tool and then hope for the best, crop, boom, and let's play it. And as you can see, if you long press and if you move it anywhere around here, you can delete the loop itself. So if I wanted to go ahead and delete that, I just go ahead and delete that, and then I can move stuff over. Some of the workflow is amazing in that sense. So I have these two loops here. What I'm going to go ahead and do is work from this loop that I've already did that stuff, and then I'll go ahead and take it a step further. And let's say I want to kind of chop that up or whatnot. And in this sense, I do want to chop it up. I can go back into the tools here. And again, this is why I remind you that you have to pay $4.99 to get the samurai mode to unlock it. So go over here, auto chop, and then you see like transient chop right over here. So you can adjust the transients. All right. And then you can go ahead and you can chop it. You also have equal chop. So if you want to chop stuff up equally and then adjust that, and that's more like region chopping on the MPCs of old and new. And then you have lazy chopping, which I don't necessarily know how it works in this sense. But what I can do is just press play here. So, okay, so when you press play, you have a chance to chop it lazy. And it will loop. So that's a good way to check and see if it loops. So that's not so bad if you want to do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the transient chopping because I think that is a better representation of what I do. And then you can choose the one shot or play through the samples, which is important. I do recommend that you set up a choke group when you are chopping up a sample because that's more or less something that would be normal. You might not want to do that for anything if you want to carve for a one shot, but I recommend that for other parts. So, and if in this sense here, I did not do what you call one shotting. And once you do that and you recognize that you want to one shot something, then you can just go back over here into your options and edit and do that and just do one shot so everything can play kind of fluidly. So I'll go ahead and grab another sample because I think that's important, right? To chop up another sample. I think it's important that you make a playlist just for your samples if you're going to work with Koala. It will help with the workflow. The Koala Sampler will benefit from it. To get you more acclimated with the flow of this thing, I would just go and just scroll over here. Just remember tools. You could do trim silence or trim all that bullshit out. And then you can go over here, back into tools, crop, and then you can have your sample right here. And as simple as that, you will have everything right in front of you, just ready for you to chop up. So I'm gonna go back over here to tools, and then I'm gonna go ahead and split the stems. I like the vocals. I'll keep the bass out of this sample, and whatever else, I'll just keep that too as well, and I'll merge them together. I'll take the drums out. So here we go. And then split it up. If there is like one thing that I would like to complain about, probably when you're chopping a sample, sometimes I don't want to play the whole entire sample. It'd be nice if it had like a playhead or something like that. I'm just giving y'all good advice from someone that's used the drum sampler for years now. Samplers have playheads to where you can play certain parts of the sample before you finish chopping it. So now here's the extracted. Maybe I shouldn't have removed the bass. But yeah, you get the point here. And just playing through the sample, you can see what I was just talking about. And what I'm gonna do now is stretch it. So if I stretch it to 8 bars, so stretching to 8 bars, you can stretch it to like 4 bars. Let's hear how it sounds. And then we can just talk about just going into the sequencer here. So it's at 110 BPM right here on this sample. And what I want to do is just go down BPM. So going down on BPM, you can just do it over here on the left side. I want to go all the way down. And if you want to tap stuff in like 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll do that. 65, 66, I'll go with that. And then you can set up the metronome and stuff like that just so you can get a playhead, a playthrough. and that will help too as far as everything goes in that instance. So the only thing that I will complain about is the fact that when you go over here to the hamburger menu, you have to set up a pre-count over here, and pre-count, in my opinion, on a sequencer should be in the options right inside of the metronome. That makes way more sense workflow wise. But yeah, you still have a count in though. You just have to go into settings and then set up a count in right over here. So it says 1 bar and make sure that it's on. And then first say, let's just go ahead and record something in. Let's do that. Now I want to make sure that the bars is set up. So I have to set up the bars. That's cool. And here we go. And that is where everything is at. And if you don't like what you've done, of course, it's pretty simple. You can clear, I believe, clear. And I actually cleared I'm gonna clear the current state of the sequence. And I actually set the bars up wrong. So there you go, 4 bars. Now we can do that. And I believe the BPM that I really desire will probably be a little higher, about 67. And I have my drums right here. And tapping on the screen, to be honest, feels good. I honestly was caught off guard with that because, you know, someone coming from like, you know, groove boxes and stuff like that. I'm trying not to say a certain groove box yet, but yeah, it actually feels good to tap on the screen, make beats, because I don't really need velocity for whatever I do. So let's go ahead and try that again. Hey, let's get it. And as you can see, you know, everything is quantized. So you can quantize stuff. Let's go back into, you know, if you want to set up things for like quantizing or whatever, you can hear it's clear as day. I have a little bit of a mess up right there, but I'll deal with that. And I'll just go and just play the sample from here. Hey. 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 The sample itself needs to be improved. So again, what you want to do is just go back into the other side. You just swipe, and then I'll just do normalize because I think normalizing will be a little better, and then just go right back over here. So the workflow is actually pretty decent. I just need my cowbells and then I'm good to go. Hey. So there is a little bit of satisfaction with the Koala Sampler that I like. Again, it starts with your imagination. It's all about that. And it gets a little deeper than that because I haven't talked about one feature. So what I did here, let me go ahead and show you what I did. So I'm using slide over to choose an app. And what I'm going to do is go over here to my 808. And you got to flip it over. So let's flip it over. Move this over to the side here so I can actually do this. So theoretically, what I want to do is use the microphone. As you can see, you can hear my voice is being picked up. But what I want to do is simply go into another part of this right here. And you can delete, if it records on there on accident, you can delete it. But I'm going to record this cowbell. So that's something for them to look into in the future. I probably might have done it wrong. You probably had to do it a different way, but I wish you could sample other apps inside a Koala Sampler. That would make so much more sense. You know what I'm saying? So what someone told me is that you have to use the AUM app to do all the resampling from Koala Sampler from other apps. What I'm going to do is this right here. I'm going to go ahead and just make this full screen again. And then I'm going to just keep it like as is for right now. And yeah, so one of the things here that I like to do is simply this. you can actually add different sounds by sampling yourself. And what I have here, different sounds by, you know, I just sample myself here, and that's one of the cooler things. And then you just go over here to simple, it's just simple and sweet, and go into process. And then you'll have your snap or whatnot, even though I think I was talking through most of it. And the quality is okay. You know, I had to commend them for at least being able to, you know, do certain things, you know, make it one shot. And then you can just add it into like your tune, or just crop it up. And you also can, by the way, let me go ahead and demonstrate it. Let me close this out, edit it out or whatnot. That's another thing I don't like about iPad, because notifications or whatnot. But anyways, you have more banks and stuff like that, and I think that's cool. But let's go ahead and see if I can add an effect of something that's more bass, more treble, fuzz, robot, bass sim, by what? Reverb. Okay, cool. So I want a reverb, and that's what I would like to do. So let's go ahead and record a reverb, snap. Then I guess I'll just edit it up. Simple. Another just simple process here. And oops, I mean, you can label it. That's cool. Crop. Boom. And there it goes. And then I'll just one shot it. Boom. And let's just add it back into the beat. Let's see if I can just slide it on over. Well, I'll just tap sequence for now and then just add it to that. Hey. Hey, what we got? And yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. I like this. The other thing that I would like to point out, you know, last but not least, is that you can press and hold. Let's say you didn't like that clap or whatnot. Press and hold, you slide up here, recording. And now you can get double the snap. And then I'll just mess with the pitch, because you can mess with pitch too. All right, let's get it. Go back into the sequence here. Hey. One thing that bothers me about the Koala app in general is this. So if I go in the sequencer and if I wanted to record like some audio in this track, let's say I wanted to set up a looper track, like play guitar, or even do something as simple as grab some shakers and playing it with the sequence, I can't record it at the same time, or at least I don't know how to. So yeah, that'd be nice if you can. Like that shit would be fire as hell. Like that would be really fire if I could record some shakers in real time and then, you know, just set up a little loop right there. I don't know why you cannot do that. It's a freaking app, for crying out loud. Why wouldn't it have that feature? My overall impression of this, it wasn't so bad to get into, probably because I'm already affirmated with this kind of ecosystem, using, you know, different groove boxes or drum samplers and stuff like that. And I like the fact that you can do some things that are not possible, you know, maybe on the MPC or whatnot, like just, you know, screen recording and stuff like that. But, you know, this is a more competent machine, I guess, if we're going to talk about iOS or just the iPad in general. But some of the technology was convenient, especially the stemming, you know, being able to separate stems and stuff like that. Though it doesn't sound all that great, I do think that it's a great thing to have, you know, and, you know, there's some other things I would like to see, but to the right of me, I have more content for that ass. Make sure that you subscribe. Are you thinking about using the Koala app on your Apple or Android device? I think you should try it out. I think it's worth it. I mean, it's only like $5. I mean, just keep it real. I think it's a good price. And yeah, I'm gonna get to y'all about that review. And it might not be my last video on this app.